across the stars to save the universe from constant dystopian future visions. Terry searches for his moment as Brandon continues to speak without pausing, even for breath. Lore, guests, chats, and sometimes even staying on topic. Wildcast Live! Wild Space Wildcast Go! Across hyperspace rivers we ride tonight, through worlds of steel and neon light, exploring stories far and wide, with chaos always by our side. Wild Space Saga on YouTube, Wild Space Saga Live. Pirates, tanks, strange worlds collide. Wild Space Saga Live. Brandon's still talking somewhere out there. Terry's trying to get a word in. Wild Space Saga Live. Wild Space Wildcast Go!
All right, greetings YouTube. This is Brandon Hill here with Terrence, Pegasus, Terran. The skies burned over Tintagel. Pegasus. Together we are the creators of Wild Space Saga. Wild Space Saga, the epic I got my tongue tied today. The epic sci-fi action adventure series you didn't know you needed. And this is the Wild Space Wildcast, made specifically to let you know exactly why you need it. And as we've been around for a hot minute in relative silence on DeviantArt, what you've been missing. But before we begin, take a moment to subscribe and hit that beautiful notification bell so that you won't miss a single bit of news, events, and live streams from our channel. Whether you catch us live or are watching after the fact, we want you to join us on the Northwest Passage. And finally, if we piqued your interest, links to our books available in paperback and ebook, as well as everywhere else you can find us on the social medias, are available down in the doobly-doo. And as usual, shameless plug here for our newest release, Twisted Faith, Book 3 in our Wild Space Saga. Our Wild Space Saga series, and we hope you get a chance to snag a hold of this. It's available where fine books are sold, in paperback, hardcover, and ebook. Check it out, as well as the other books as well. Now, as a reminder, the first two books are available in ebook as in their expanded forms. They have not yet been released in paperback yet in their expanded forms, but their original forms are still available. And you know, it's been a hell of a week. I mean, three of, you know, one of the world's favorite people passed away, and of course, you know, and then of course two just everyone's favorite, and just like a lot of them were just everyone's favorite people. I mean, I don't think you can say anything bad about any of those people at all. And Dolly, Tim, and of course Peter freaking Cullen, man, voice of Optimus Prime, voice of my childhood. Rest in peace, man. Till all are one. That's all I gotta say. Hey Terry, you ever heard of a YouTuber named Heels versus Babyface?
No.
Well, he's one of the YouTubers I actually follows along. Oh, and by the way, hi Niall, what's going on? But I think he's a Brit. He has a very strong UK accent. And he does like a lot of commentary on pop culture and whatnot, and he gave this really emotional send off for Peter Cullen, and it was really beautiful. Guy got really choked up at the end. You know, though oddly enough, you know, for me, celebrity deaths don't usually make me cry. I think the only one whose death actually made me like cry Niagara Falls tears was Steve Irwin. You know, so young, had, you know, very young kids at the time, and, you know, seemed to have everything going for him, and everybody knew these dangerous animals would, well, they thought one of these dangerous animals would do him in, and of course it was a freaking stingray, one of the least likely animals to kill you. Yeah, but, you know, however, with Dolly, I did shed a couple of tears, you know, because, well, everybody loved Dolly, and that was kind of unexpected, so. Yeah. But anyway, that just kind of bummed me out, this past week because my God,
To be fair, I mean, Tim Curry did a good job surviving the stroke.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he always seemed to be in really good spirits despite being wheelchair bound and having limited mobility. But I think he was still pretty had kept his chin up all the time. It's interesting.
Well, you watch any of his interviews, and even though because of the stroke he's quite deadpan in his speech, his wicked sense of humour's still there.
Yeah.
In all of those interviews, there was so much joy to watch him, despite everything, still have that wit he always, he always had.
Yeah, that was always a joy to watch him, in his movies. I mean, God, he's done so many things. Everybody, the dude probably was the best thing about Legend, because overall, I thought Legend was, the movie was the director's trying a little too hard, but my God, Tim Curry killed it as the Lord of Darkness.
Oh yeah.
Oh hey Finn, how's it going? Auntie Whispers from Over the Garden Wall was one of his last roles. Oh, okay. I also liked him doing the voice for Nigel Thornberry. They did a lot of voices for cartoon characters. I didn't even know until the other day that he was the one who did the voice for Monterey Jack from Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers.
I didn't know that until I saw that, yeah.
And I was just like, oh, that was Tim Curry? And I knew he did a lot of other cartoons, and my favorite one is Hexus from Fern Gully. Just him singing Toxic Love, just brings the hairs on the back of my neck, standing up. I love that one where they showed the animation and showed him in the studio singing it, and I was just like, dude, you can see he was just singing it from his toes.
Well, it's because he's the man who loved every minute of the role of every role he played. That's what.
Oh God, yes. I also like the fact that he played because I'm a big Sonic the Hedgehog fan, especially the original, the old Saturday morning series, the really cool one, not the goofy one. And he played Princess Sally's father, King
Yeah,
Acorn.
no, it was Monty Jack was Peter Cullen.
Oh crap! I'm sorry, I got that mixed up. It was Peter Cullen. They had a lot of stuff that was going through my.
To be fair, when both of them have bit it in the same week, and they're both legendary people to us, it's easy to get them mixed up.
Yeah, up at Treasure Island, yeah, he played Blackbeard. One interesting thing about his death.
That's one of his best interviews when he says the one that got away was Miss Piggy, and he always regretted it. Because once you've had pork, you never go back.
Well, yeah, I actually like Princess Sally a bit more than I like Bunny, but I still love Christine Cavanaugh and her voice acting with Bunny. It was really cool. What was it? That God dang it made me forget what I was about to say. Oh yeah. Interestingly enough, Tim Curry died. He actually died the same day that Dolly did, but he had known about Dolly's passing before he died, and it was his wish that he let people know about it the next day because he wanted the world to mourn her first. Yeah, he actually had a lot of respect for her.
Yeah.
But yeah, Peter Cullen doing the epic Toonami voiceovers. Well, yeah, I mean, he did a lot of those voiceovers. I mean, of course, if you know your voiceovers, his most popular is "From days of long ago, from uncharted reaches of the universe, comes the legend, defender of the universe." Yeah, So, yeah, that was him, of course. He also did the voice for Carr from Knight Rider. I am the Knight Rider.
Oh, yes.
Robot, you may call me Carr. Yeah.
They even got him back in the the remake series to do Car again there.
Oh, he was in. You see, I didn't watch a lot of the newer series that came out. The one where, what's his face? Oh God, who did the voice for Kid in that one?
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer, yeah. Val Kilmer. I didn't
was
know they had Carr in it.
It started to sort of hit its stride a bit better, but by then I think it had already put too many people off, so it didn't really, give itself a chance because it just took too long to improve.
Yeah, the whole deal was with that. First of all, the one thing that turned off a lot of people is that didn't bother going to Pontiac to try to have him revive his Trans Am line to bring back to have actual kit and just have a newer version of a Trans Am, you know. That was like, why? That would have been a perfect. That would have been an opportunity for Pontiac to get get something that might sell really well, you know. Even just for the freaking name, because they did it in honor of bringing back Knight Rider, you know. They didn't do everything they possibly could to really cash in on that. You know, it just seemed that...
The trouble is, when you've got Ford for providing the vehicles, and then you've got a shape-changing car, and they've got a pickup to sell as well, he had to have a pickup mode as well.
Wait, Kit could change its shape in that one?
Yes, he had like a nano shell.
Are you sure you're not confusing that with Viper? Because I remember that series and that car.
Do I look like I'm confusing something?
You look confused constantly, my dude.
I'm confused at you when you don't... Why would you think I'm confused when I know a show called Knight Rider that lasted one series and that had a Ford Mustang as the car in it?
I'm just making sure because I know that there was another series.
And you're the one who said you didn't watch it, so you know.
I watched a little bit of it, but I didn't watch it. No, I watched maybe like 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah, I watched the series. Fail harder, please.
No, I will not fail harder. I will win by failing. Let me see. So these people did voices and acted in many characters.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? You'd think a lot of Hollywood stars, and yeah, a lot of them have done voice work as well.
Yeah, I don't know if Dolly ever did. Did she ever do voice work, I wonder?
No, but then she's not necessarily a Hollywood star. She's more of a country star than she was Hollywood, really, wasn't she? I know she did some acting roles, but...
Oh, yeah, definitely. But some. And now all of a sudden my computer's getting stuck. I don't know why. Okay.
I know, you suddenly went all... You know. I'll need you to drop the music slightly though, because I can't hear myself. Only because of my headphones.
Okay, that's what. Yeah, hang on. Let me go back to StreamYard here. See, the thing, like, it's kind of frustrating because I really,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how others can hear it or not hear it, but for me, I can barely hear it.
It comes across quite loudly
really
from my
loud.
headphones.
Yeah.
It probably is just to do with headphones, but it just means I can't judge how loud my voice is.
Yeah, well, your voice ain't that loud, my dude. I mean, listen, you every time, ever since I've known you and we first started talking, you always have a very quiet voice. So you never speak that loud.
It sounds loud to me.
You know, there have been times like, you remember, like when we used to first speak, I would always say, "Dude, can you speak up, or can you turn your volume up?" And you were always speaking. You always had just a very soft voice. So, let me see here.
It sounds loud to me. So
okay, so Dolly did do some voices. Not that many. Well, these are just showing her more notable roles. Magic School Bus, she voiced Katrina Eloise, Murphy, Mrs. Frizzle's recycling plant operating cousin. Oh, okay. Romeo and Juliet, she voiced the character of Dolly Gnome, of course. Simpsons, she voiced herself. Okay, yeah, that's right. She was in The Simpsons. I do remember that. Lily's Driftwood Bay. Don't know about that show, but anyway. So those are just a few of her voices, her voice acting stints. But yeah, she did do some voice acting. It wasn't something that she was best known for, though. See, when it comes to character creation, how do you do it? Do you choose a background, e.g. a rogue, a type, space
Brandon goes, "Oh, that show was really cool. I want that character from it," and then just changes the appearance. And
no, that is not how I think, my dude. I have had that process. I have had that process.
I'm totally, yeah.
But that's not how I normally do it. I mean, Zerx is just a character just popped into my head one day. I was drawing and I was like, wanted to draw sort of a heroic gunslinger, and that's
with Zerx though. I do have to ask: did Greedo shoot first?
No, I was not thinking of Han Solo when I drew him or came up with him. Nice try. I wanted him to be better than Han. Anyway, the but he yeah, that was, I was thinking of just sort of like a heroic anime character, and I know he did come out a little bit generic because of the wild hair, but the hair just, when I did it, it just kind of stuck that way. So I'm like, okay, so he's gonna have cloud hair, but but yeah, when I drew him, I was also like kind of challenging myself because at the time I found it difficult to draw characters with jackets. I hadn't really perfected it, and he was like one of the first characters who I drew a jacket on, and it really actually looked good. And I sort of decorated with patches and with stuff to make it look like he won a lot of awards, and it was a character I was really putting a lot of work into because I came up with an idea. I wanted to make a comic, but I wanted to make a character that was really going to stand out. And when I drew him, I was really putting a lot of work in putting the details with the belt and the guns and everything like that. And even that back then, when it was the only problem, the most difficult thing on him outside of the jacket was drawing the guns. I mean, Terry was actually the one who kind of cracked the whip and helped me to draw guns better. But he.
Oh no, I absolutely tore into him over ergonomics.
Yeah. And so it just kind of all kind of came together, and my first drawings of Zerks were like, oh man, yeah, this is it, this is what I need. And after that, I was just looking for people to help me put together.
To be fair, B, you're not the only one I was harsh to, because Niall will tell you what I'm like about him following the instructions when he builds his Warhammer models. Because he won't follow the bloody instructions, and then wonders why bits don't fit.
Uh-oh.
And then he wonders why I'm raging at him across the table.
Let me see. So no, I don't usually use D&D rules when I put together a character. I mean, I like playing D&D. I'm actually part of a D&D group, in my hometown. My character is actually a paladin. The paladins and warlocks are my two favorite D&D characters, in case anyone wanted to know. So
it's more when I do it is sometimes I'd come up with characters because at the time I had no real story. I was just coming up with stuff. And then I built a little world and stuff like that because a lot of it was when I used to draw. I like to draw characters, create characters. But then obviously once we started writing and I started actually building worlds, it's like, well, you need a person with a purpose, someone who can move the story along, or they exist. Why do they exist? What is, who are they? What do you want to achieve with them? Or in some cases, like with Alexa, I worked with this girl who had bright red hair and blue eyes and went, I like that look. What can I do with it? And yeah. That's how Artemis came about. There was a girl I worked with bright pink hair and green eyes.
And then doing my versions of Terry's characters was kind of a challenge in its own, because not only Terry's artwork is extremely complex. Even when you draw clothes, man, you make all these little tiny details, and I'm just sitting there.
What? Because I make them function.
Well, it's just that I remember the original idea was to make a comic. And in doing a comic, sometimes people will go for something that doesn't require a huge amount of effort to draw over and over and over and over again. And
yes.
But in your case, it's just like some of the drawings we had to do was just like so detailed.
And also
you were very
led me to realise how
details.
much I hate sequential art in general.
No, you actually like comics. You just don't like drawing.
No, I hate sequential art in that way, yes. I realise that I don't want to do this. I'm happy to read it. I don't want to produce it.
Whereas I actually enjoy doing it. Though I will admit it is difficult. I mean, the comics that you see, that for those of y'all who, if you go to our Wild Space Saga DeviantArt page, remember, link down in the doobly-doo for anyone who's interested. If you go to our Wild Space Saga DeviantArt page, you'll see some short. There's actually a section.
We did actually create one called "Finish What You Start."
Yep, he and I worked together on that one.
And ironically, the follow-up was going to be called "Don't Start What You Can't Finish," and I couldn't finish it.
But yeah, so we did that work together, but I've done we've done other comics. Well, I have most of the time. It's the lion's share of the work for me after that point, because I know Terry didn't like doing the sequential art. I actually enjoy doing it.
No, I realised I had a distinct loathing for it.
And as a matter of fact, I taught myself how to do it, because originally we were looking for others to help us out doing the layout work, the background work, because I just wasn't good with that. And Terry was good with like doing machines. He would have just been in charge of designing ships and the gestalts, and I was just gonna be doing the character designs.
That's all he wanted me for originally, just like, you know, hey bitch, draw me a spaceship. But you know, it wasn't.
So what I did is basically kind of taught myself how to draw, how to do the sequential artwork, how to put it all together in panels, and even then it's still kind of a pain in the behind. Now for background work, I still suck at background drawing for the most part. So I leave that up to I'll just do like an AI design, and so that's about the only thing I'll leave to AI for right now. Now I'm still working on doing backgrounds. So the problem with backgrounds is not the detail. Like behind me right now, I could do a background like this. It's just the perspective.
It'll be at a slant and he'll be looking like he's in an Isha painting. But yeah, you can do background.
The perspective art. It's the perspective drawing that I always have a problem with. And also I do kind of get exhausted if it's something extremely detailed. So I mean, I did do one beautiful design of a city once from another story that's not Wild Space Saga related. And to this day, it's one of my most beautiful and detailed drawings. But, whew, good lord, that was a pain to do. But it turned out beautifully. So it's not that I'm not capable of doing it. It's just that it's really, really hard and really, really exhausting. And I usually have the patience of Job when it comes to doing artwork. But it's just that doing the background work is just exhausting. Like the work that I'm doing right now on Wild Space Saga, it's a little short comic called New Recruits. The backgrounds I have were just very, very blurred, because I kind of just set them in the background. It wasn't all that important. It's just stuff I whipped up in ChatGPT of a ship's sick bay, and I just kind of made it just do different that thing from different angles and added certain things to it. So that's how my stuff ended up turning out. And yeah, getting back to your question there, Finn. So was I thinking of the famous king of Persia? You're talking about Xerxes? Actually, no. That actually came from Star Trek, from a book that I read. I don't remember if it was the Q-in-Law or Imzadi, but it was a character named Chandra Xerx, who was a Betazoid. And so I just thought, like, Xerx sounds like a cool name, and I added it. And then later on, I just knew it was a shortened version of Xerxes, so I said, okay, yeah, Xerx is just everybody calls him Xerx for short. His name is Xerxes. But I didn't really get it from the King of Persia. I know about that ancient king, but yeah, that wasn't where I got it from. Also, very interestingly enough, his last name, Paraska, originally his last name was supposed to be Parasika, but what I did is that I was at Books A Million in the cafe just drawing, and this one lady came up and looked at my drawings when I was drawing Xerx, and I wrote the name Xerx Parasika, but she looked at him, she's like, oh, and I was like, wait, I was like, oh, well, what's the matter? She's like, oh, I thought that his last name was Paraska. I'm Croatian. Paraska means meadow. And I didn't change it then and there, but it just kind of stewed in the back of my head. And I was like, well, Paraska rolls off the tongue better, so I'm going to change it. And so I I did. As a matter of fact, I did actually write Paraska at first, and then I changed it to Parasika. And then the lady was talking about, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to change it back to Paraska, because thinking about it does roll off the tongue better. So, yeah, kind of a long story there, but, that's how sometimes thought processes work. You think of one thing, it stews in the back of your head. You might use it for a bit and then change it because, it might not be carved in stone. There you go. That's how ideas come together, especially when you're writing books.
And the other reason Brandon struggles with my characters is because all of mine have rules behind their design.
dude, it just completely cut, and then it just ended up. The very
Yes,
last
you
thing I had
did
to
the
say. What was
same
it
for
again?
me. For me. So it's quite interesting that you say that to me, but it happens to you on my end. No, I said I have rules in
So we'll
how
both
all of my
sound bad
stuff
all
is
the
designed. You've seen my
time.
characters, Niall.
With
So you see how I put them together. You'll notice how their clothes are put together, how the color combinations are all everything is put together in a certain way that complements and fits their design. So you have Artemis, bright pink hair, bright green eyes, dark red lipstick, striped top, red trousers. And then instead of standard black leather goth boots, her boots are off white because it suits better than sticking a big pair of black boots, and the whole color combination comes together. Yeah, but as a result, that then
well,
pulls the character design together, which means that you then apply that every time. Alexa always wears white boots. No matter what the outfit, her footwear is always white. And that's a character thing. That's sort of her sign of redemption thing. So she will always wear white footwear no matter what outfit you put her in. But
I mean,
also,
I actually
complementary
have
colours is why
colored
she has
the.
blue lipstick.
My characters actually have distinctive looks, and that I draw them the same way all the time.
Yes,
Like
but
Zerk's
you've
always
never
has that
laid
blue
the
jacket,
rules
always has
down. You've never laid
Well,
the
you
design
can-
rules down properly like I do. Let's be honest.
Well,
It's
because
all
I
in the
never
seat
thought
of
I
your
needed
pants.
to. Because
I have to look at the back of your boxer shorts to know your rules.
No, because I never, I never needed to. I was able to just look at the prior drawing of the character and realize, okay, that's how I'm supposed to draw him, and I just draw him that way. That's how I do whenever I'm doing like comic work, like when I'm drawing our Shosha. I actually just look at a prior drawing of her to make sure I got everything, like my original drawings of her, to make sure I got everything right, and I also just use the paint dropper effect to make sure I got the colors right as well.
Yeah, but I just mean in designing the character in general. Hence why when you put Alexa in an outfit that is pink and gold and green, it works. That's fine. Because I've designed that outfit in the past, right? So those colours I know work.
Same thing for me. I mean, look how I
Yes,
draw me.
but Brandon, you don't write it down. You work from your brain.
Well, yeah, because if you see a drawing of her, that's how I would want her to look. Now, if you're talking about actually doing one of those forward, side, and back design things, I have done them, but it's very rare that I do because I always felt that because for me, I guess just because I never needed to because I just had the image in my head, and so I was able to just draw it that way. So, you know, that's just how I work. Now, for if you need me to do that for
you like that.
What? What'd
So
you
I'm
say?
just going to squint at you like this.
Okay, it looked like a cat that's telling me.
I said I am going to squint at you like this.
I know, I heard you. I said, now you look like a cat that's trying to tell me that you love me.
It's the Steven. That's that Steven Seagal stare, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm
the
so
problem with
intimidating,
Steven
man.
Seagal is crazy.
Oh yeah, the man's an utter knobhead. I mean, considering in one of his most recent films, he barely got up from the chair and had a stunt double go up the stairs for him.
And this dude used to be a policeman in Louisiana. Oh my god.
Oh no, he didn't. There's a loophole that allows someone to be deputised, and they used that for the program. So he was technically a legitimate lawman without any training.
Okay, he was in Jefferson Parish, so yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in.
I mean, the man is a master of bullshido. You should know this.
Yeah, I'm very aware of that. I've watched some of the biographical things that some people made about him, and I was like, this dude's just been BSing people from the very beginning.
Right.
Went into
Whilst we're on this tangent, the sad the sad shame is that his early action movies were good. He could have been a great action star, but he was a knob. And as a result, he killed his own career.
Yep.
When he could have been on the same level as Stallone, as Schwarzenegger, as Van Damme, as Chuck Norris.
Was, so.
No, he was going to be. In fact, that's like Joel Silver, who's one of the big action movie guys. They were gearing him up to be the next big thing.
Yep.
And with all his antics behind, off camera, is what killed it. He killed his own, he became a legend in his own mind.
Okay.
But I just want to let's address some of here, like what Niall said about, create a hypothetical on stream. How would you go about it? An ex-slave fellow who was saved by pirates but betrayed them and deal with the Imperium.
Kind of have that.
Easy.
Well, not exactly. I mean, Arshosha is a little bit like that. She's actually a daughter of the usurper king, Montera, but not legitimate daughter. She was unfortunately was the daughter of rape, and her mother was a Felian that he had captured and kept as a pet, and so you can pretty much figure out the things that went on. She gave birth to Arshosha.
The difference is she didn't betray them in a deal with the Imperium, so you would have a character very similar to that.
I was saying it's somewhat similar.
I know.
And what happened with her mother is that she gave birth to Arshosha and was very protective of her. And when Montera was trying to take out his anger on his daughter, she protected her, and then struck out against Montera for the first time. And unfortunately, the last time took her and literally had her crucified on the.
Diego does not take dissent lightly.
Yeah, he had her crucified on the battlements of the castle, and made her daughter watch. And this had the opposite effect on Arshosha. It kind of cemented her hatred of the man, and secretly she worked against him for the rest of that time, and ended up befriending Alexa and working with her to undermine Montera's power.
If we ever do write that, it'll be quite a long. Well, it will actually be a sequence in itself of books in itself. The pirate war.
Yeah. Let me see. How would I go? But I actually could, just by the seat of my pants, design a character with the background you gave on one of my drawings.
Because you went with a furry option, Niall, I completely bailed. So yeah.
I do the Felians, he does not.
I would say yes, you're probably more intuitive. I will build my characters. Whether I do that in my head first before I put it all down, I'd probably do a lot more construction, whereas Brandon goes, aha, I have an idea. And I go, no, not another idea.
Yeah, for me, I get an idea.
Not another idea, Brandon. You know what that does to you.
I get an idea and I draw it out. That's actually how my process is for designing characters. I draw to get ideas or refine ideas for what for stories and characters that I have, and I'll just start drawing them out.
As for Harry Potter, I can take or leave it. I don't really think anything much of it, to be honest.
What are your thoughts on the Harry Potter franchise? Well, for me, I love the Harry Potter franchise. I have all the books. I actually have Hogwarts.
I don't know. How many am I holding up now?
Whatever. And as a matter of fact, and I think I told y'all this. Back in 2020, you had that hurricane that hit down here. It wrecked the city. I mean, my God, the whole city looked like a bomb went off. And unfortunately, my house was not spared the damage. There was a huge in the room right next door, right there. There was a huge hole in the ceiling. Rained on. It was where I had my bookshelf then, and rained on my books. Lost a lot of my books, and among them were my Harry Potter series, my pride and joy, because I had gone to the Harry Potter parties over at Barnes and Noble and you know, when the last like four book, Goblet of Fire, last three books came out, and bought those, and yeah, they were all destroyed, man. I wanted to cry. My sister that year, God bless her, bought the entire series in hardcover for me for Christmas as a gift. So yeah, I really loved, really loved that, and so yeah, that shows how much I love the Harry Potter books. I mean, hell, when I got the books, and I remember when I first started reading them, and I'm sorry going on this tangent, so I won't take but a moment. I had a friend who was telling, and this is when I was started to learn. This is when they were starting to get really popular all over the news, and I was a little bit curious, but I just thought it was mostly hype. And I had a friend who online, she was constantly telling me, "You got to read the books. You really got to read the books." Yeah, and every time I talked to her, "Have you read the books yet? Have you read them? Have you started reading them yet?" No, you know. So I went to the library to get the first book just to shut her up, and and I had to wait a while because those books they had tons of copies, but all of them had already been claimed, so I had to put myself on a waiting list. And so I think it took a couple of weeks, but I finally got my hands on the first book, and I started reading it, and I couldn't put it down. And I fell in love from book one, and just hell, I would go to the bookstore before my next book come in, and just take a book out the shelf and just sit down somewhere and start reading it. And then when the book finally came in, I'd catch up, and I just bought all the books up to Goblet of Fire, and then when the other ones came out, I just went to Barnes & Noble and bought the others. That's how much I loved the series. So the only one that I don't have is The Cursed Child, and the only reason is because I heard that one wasn't very good. So
it was a play anyway. It's transcript of the play, isn't it? So
yeah, and that's also the reason. I don't know if I'm not sure about how fully well, from what I know about the Harry Potter wikis, it actually is canon. So I'm probably gonna break down and get it before long. It's just I don't have it yet. And I also have Hogwarts Legacy. I'd love to go to Universal Studios and go to the Harry Potter theme park, but money. Let me see. Anything else, guys? Okay, seeing the play, it's okay. 6 out of 10. Yeah, I don't like stories where time travel is the primary, the primary driving force of the story.
You like Star Trek,
I don't really like a lot of the Star Trek episodes.
The amount of time travel episodes in Star Trek,
Yeah, I do not. I'm not a fan of time travel episodes. To borrow a quote from Star Trek, temporal physics always gives me a headache. The only book that I could ever recommend where time travel was a part of the plot is the next to final book in the Starseed Cycle series, because time travel is a huge part of that story, but it makes perfect sense in linking up everything that has happened in the prior 8 books together, because you run into things in the books that don't seem to make sense. They're wondering, well, how could this have happened, blah, blah, blah. And then when they have their adventure in time, it all basically falls into place because they basically became the ones that caused it. So, yeah. Okay, yeah, Back to the Future, I do like that. I do like that trilogy. That's also another...
But then they don't go crazy in Back to the Future. They just have a bit of fun with crossing over the timelines, don't they?
Yeah, they didn't do like a...
You enjoy the action adventure, and if you're going to build a time machine, why not do it with style?
Yeah, I mean the only one where it got the Back to the Future Part 2 was the one that had the most complicated plot, because they did work with how you can screw things up, using the time machine. I mean, it touched on it a little bit in the first movie because he, what's his face, Marty did things that damn near erased his family, and then the second movie though, I mean, you had Biff go back to 1985 and just mess everything
Funny thing
up.
Have you ever seen the deleted scene where when he gets out of the car he collapses and fades away because what's her name shoots him in the hotel?
No,
when he becomes the big casino owner and all of that.
Yeah, I know
and
that.
He's actually got Marty's mum as his wife. So in the deleted scene, she shoots him. And what you see is old Biff collapses when he gets out of the DeLorean and fades away. Because obviously he's all his own future, and she kills him. So
Yeah.
he doesn't get to become an old man.
Gee.
There's a whole bit they
That-
took out, but yeah, it's why he's acting so strange when he gets out of the car,
I didn't
because
know that.
he's basically fading away.
Jeez.
It's worth looking up the deleted scenes because yeah, it would have made it horribly complicated for just sitting and watching it. But it's interesting that they did actually try and cover things like that.
That I think that I wish it kind of kept that scene in. That would have been very interesting. Yeah, maybe I guess maybe
I
they
can
thought the
understand why they took it out for simplicity and for time, you know. But it does, yeah. It adds another layer to like the story side of it when you're geeky like us and into all those little details. It's like, oh, that's actually quite interesting.
Now, with all that in mind, I mean, and I'm probably thinking that somebody's thoughts are going to go down this avenue. I totally could make a time travel based story involving Wild Space Saga, but I really would not want to do that.
But you'd have to get past me first, so yeah.
I'm sure I can make a story that would be really good. It's just like I said, I really don't want to.
To be fair, we initially had an issue when we introduced Kamiko because she's quite young. You know, she's in her early 20s. The way with the timeline is set up, she couldn't have reached maturity in time for what we did in the timeline and for her to achieve what she had. So it's like, are we going to go with time travel here where she's been pushed back, or then we realise no, it's tank physiology. She's just grown up a lot quicker than her peers.
Yeah. That just
So we got out of the need for time travel for her to be an adult when she technically shouldn't be.
We already
in
have
the earlier parts of her in her youth, you know. It's like no, she was a foot taller than everyone else because her mum was a tank.
Besides, we already got enough things planned for Kumiko that are going to be far fetched enough. So
The girl is a walking nuke. I mean,
she kind of is a walking plot device when you think about it. Not in a bad way, though.
Well, she hasn't reached. She's not over 9,000 yet. She hasn't gone Super Saiyan yet. But there is going to be a time when she does.
Yeah, it's actually something I kind of came up with, and I was really worried that Terry wouldn't like it, but I kind of convinced him that it actually would probably be pretty good because it little tiny spoiler. Let's just say that Felians and Vlissians are not the only extraterrestrial race that is left after the crisis that happened, and it's not what you would be thinking, but that's all we're going to reveal about that because that's going to be kind of a big thing. Let me see, trying to see. I want to say something about, and I completely blanked on it. But hey guys, keep the questions coming if you have any. But yeah, we're kind of working on things in the background. Things have kind of slowed down a bit. I know that Terry did say you were going to be working on the story a bit more, so the book a bit more. So
yeah, I'll get it back onto that. Just because the last 8 weeks, new job and everything like that, I've really had to get into a routine.
What about other time things like time bubbles to suspend space around the ship from the past, or don't understand. Advance, I think is what you're trying to say.
It's Niall not proofreading what he's typed, and then we get the typos. Niall, type in English, not Nihilish.
Next thing you know, he's going to start typing in symbols.
Don't worry. I get text messages from him like this. This is our chat, our messenger chat in our Warhammer group. Niall puts things in there, and everyone goes, "What the hell is Niall saying?" Because he's gone and types it all out, hit send, and not looked that he's pressed all the right letters, not necessarily in the right order.
He's been playing The Sims too much. But let me see. But no, time bubbles suspended. Now, I don't see us really messing around with time that much.
We do have stasis fields to a degree, but they use a lot of power, so it's usually for preserving smaller things.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really have it like for like cryo sleepers. Or no, we have actual cryo sleep. As a matter of fact, the comic that I'm talking about has two characters that were preserved in cryo sleep for 200 years. Um, which fits for them because I hadn't done anything with those characters in many years, and they are literally the oldest characters I ever came up with, and so
And
I
you won't
just
do
transferred
anything
them to
with them
Wild
for
Space
many years more after this comic. But you know,
Saga. Let me see. Any plans for Wild Space audio play or something like that? We could probably do something like that. I mean,
oh,
I
we'd
actually,
love to. Just time and resources.
yeah, I'd have to find a cast. We could use AI, but AI still hasn't gotten to the point where it
Yeah, I wouldn't want that.
emotes
I
the
mean,
way that
it's
I'd
good
like
enough
it.
for doing the songs and like my title cards for the songs and concept art and stuff.
Yeah,
But
but for
that's as
doing
far as I'll use it at the moment.
yeah, for doing voice acting, like I have a non-Wild Space Saga related book that I've been slowly releasing chapters for. That I had it self-published several years ago, and I'm finally making an audiobook of it. It just costs a lot of money to just release it all at once. So I'm releasing it once every time I get a paycheck, a new chapter every time. So it's once every 2 weeks, and I got it up to I think like chapter 4. No, wait, yeah, I think 3 or 4. Anyway, and I've been using a website called Spoken, which you can make audiobooks out of your own books, and it actually does a pretty decent job. Though it doesn't quite nail the emotions right on every single thing. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It does seem to follow what you write in order to sort of let it understand how you want them to say it. But if you have a character that has a particular vocal type and personality type, it doesn't quite
I
nail
mean,
it.
in fairness, we have plans for everything to do with Wild Space. I have the entire brand in my mind, but it's just, it's getting there. You know, Brandon keeps seeing it as a series of books. Wild Space Saga is a brand now. That's why it has a logo on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, I
We
even
just ain't got
branded
around
myself
to,
on my back.
we haven't, because we have our whole 3 followers, it's probably not worth producing merch or anything yet. But
We're working on it.
hey, if all 3 of you will buy a T-shirt, by all means, we'll bug them on there. But
I think like on my next days off, I'm going to go ahead and get started on that big trailer that I want to make. Terry, you need to send me those pics of Brogan and Ike. Remember, so that I can go ahead and get started on that because I want to go ahead and do a trailer for like the first book, and maybe do some really good designs for it. Let me see.
oh, now that's actually a good question.
I had a Wild Space chocolate bar.
I mean,
uh,
if you go with Pip, it's going to be cookies. It's going to have cookie pieces in it. Because you know what she's like? She asks people if they like cookies. When they say yes, she asks them why. Why do you like cookies? What do you mean, why do I like cookies? I like them. They're nice. They taste nice. Oh, why do they taste nice? Oh my god. Why? 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 But it's because she genuinely wants to know why.
For Zerx, it would be dark chocolate. It would be dark chocolate.
I like Ike. You're a fan of Ike, are you, Finn?
I like Ike.
He's
I'm
actually
I'm
come a
actually
long
surprised
way.
you know that reference.
But if you meet the character Ike in the Shadowstar crew, he's come a long way since his little presence in back in what's it, Angel of Death.
Okay, I see you don't get the reference, Terry.
I don't.
I like Ike.
No.
That was Dwight Eisenhower, President Eisenhower's campaign slogan when he was running for president back in the 50s. So
No, I know you like mint. Christ,
yeah.
Niall. Basically, if you want him to do anything for you, just get him mint chocolate, mint arrow. He'll do anything for you. He'll even swallow.
Ew.
I didn't say what he'd swallow. That's your mind. Behave yourself, Brandon.
For Neela, it would definitely be almonds, milk chocolate with almonds. Let me see. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, definitely. salt, it would be no, it would not be salted caramel. It would be crunch. It would be like Nestle Crunch, because he's crusty. Well, not crusty, but he's rough around the edges. And yeah, now for I think that Pepper and Mabala would probably like the same thing, salted caramel. They would like that. Uh, and let me see. Yeah, and you know what? I do think. VAR? No. VAR, that would be interesting. Yeah, I think VAR probably would.
They make mint M&Ms.
Yeah, mint. Yeah, mint. Yeah, they have mint M&Ms. I haven't seen them in a long time though.
Why? Why is there a hot honey? Why are there hot honey peanut M&Ms? Oh my god!
Wait, hot honey peanut? I never. Now that I haven't heard that.
Yeah, well, Niall knows all these crazy flavors exist, so you know. He's tried every flavour of Dr. Pepper they came out with, even the one that, was said wallpaper. The stripper flavour, I mean.
What flavor is that?
Or it might as well have been.
What flavor?
I don't know, it might as well have been though.
I mean, I've had almost every flavor of Dr. Pepper, because they come up with a lot of new ones.
You never tried paint stripper? Yeah.
I like the coconut Dr. Pepper, that was really good. Now, the one I didn't like was the strawberry one. It just didn't gel well with the Dr. Pepper. The cherry one did.
Yeah, coconut, that was paint stripper. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love the coconut flavor one. No, you're talking about it.
Yes, but you're American. All you have is chemicals. Look, we have this chemical flavour. It tastes like burning. I mean, that's your diet.
No, I just, I wasn't the only one who liked it. Me and my friends, we all like the coconut flavored ones. So,
well, yes, but again,
as a matter of fact,
that reference, that sample is all American, and obviously we can just use you as a generic American stereotype. It's fun.
Okay, well, hey, so what? We still like it, but they're doing something right.
Yeah, but I'm having fun.
As a matter of fact, it sold so well.
Don't ruin my fun, Brandon. Let me tease you.
They sold so well they couldn't keep it in stores. But your soda float is way better than our cream swirl equivalent. Depends on what you're making the float out of, but yeah, I mean, I know a lot of Europeans don't like root beer, and so even in Japan they don't like root beer. They say, what did they call it? It tastes like mouthwash to them, because the root, I forget what the root is that they use in, I think it's sarsaparilla. They use originally in root beer, but there is a very faint, slightly minty taste in root beer that just turns a lot of non-Americans off. As a matter of fact, in Japan, the only place where they like root beer in Japan is Okinawa, because
dandelion and burdock's disgusting.
Dandelion and burdock? Never heard of it.
I'm sorry, but that I had to swear at that. That stuff is foul. How on earth can you drink that?
I never even had that.
Would address Finn over Hershey more than Cadbury. To be honest, Cadbury's is owned by Kraft now anyway, so they've Americanized it.
Not really. The Cadbury chocolate to me tastes markedly different from Hershey's, and I do know like a lot of.
They're very different. What I mean is that Cadbury chocolate now is not what it was even 10 years ago, because it's owned by Kraft now and they changed the recipe slightly.
I see.
And I've always found it a little bit too rich tasting anyway. Now, I've always preferred Nestle chocolate over Cadbury chocolate anyway.
Now, I know that a lot of non-Americans don't like Hershey chocolate and they say it tastes like vomit, and it's because there's a particular chemical that we put in chocolate. It's called butyric acid. For Americans, it's something we've eaten all our lives, so it doesn't bother us at all. But for people who are non-American, they'll eat like Hershey's chocolate, which is our best chocolate, and they say it tastes vile. So I'm I've eaten Hershey's chocolate all my life. It tastes great to me. But then you've lived on all your chemical food all your life, so Now that is actually
we have real food here. And you would love to try real food. Trust me, Brandon.
I'm not even going to dignify that with an answer.
No, it's because you have none. Because you know I speak the truth.
Oh my God, dude, you're talking to a Louisiana boy, which is our food is considered the most
I'm talking to an
delicious in the
American.
world.
That's the part. I'm just being horribly generalising about what I'm doing and just having some fun with it.
I know. Anyway, but that does bring something to mind, though.
Yeah. When you come to the UK, B.
When I have money, I'd love to. I really would. I've been.
Well,
there
we
before.
put you up.
That was a
We put
long
you up,
time.
so you wouldn't need a hotel because you just stay with us.
Yeah, because I mean, I went back in the summer of '94 with our French club trip. We took a 3-day excursion out.
All
to,
of 30 plus years ago, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying we went to London and we went to Windsor, and that was actually really cool.
Do you realise, B, it's been 14 years since you and I actually physically met in Louisiana?
Don't remind me how old I am, man.
14 years, man. 14 years since we screwed up those times at the airport. And I made you wait all those hours, not realising they'd adjusted the time on the ticket already.
I was with my friend. Jeff, and we were waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and we were like, "Well, we were supposed to be here. Where the hell is he?" And then, finally you called me and like, "I'm at the hotel." What?
Yeah, I got the time all wrong. No, we don't. We have the what I would call the British interpretation of Cajun food in the UK, i.e., let's just dump cayenne pepper in it and go ha ha.
Oh, dude, come on now! You've actually had Cajun food in Louisiana. You know that's not the case.
I know. What did I just say? What did I just say when he said we don't have Cajun food
yes,
in the UK?
I know.
I said we have the UK
interpretation.
version of Cajun food, which is, oh look, let's cover it in Frank's hot sauce. Let's call that Cajun. You know.
But that does give me an idea. We do need to have something in Wild Space Saga where we have the characters talking about different foods from different worlds, and maybe having that kind of a discussion. That would actually be really fun. Where one world.
Well, the Shadowstar crew already cook for their food fresh.
Yeah,
they don't go with the reconstituted protein stuff unless they need to. They actually make their food properly. They have the whole cargo bay full of it.
Now the reckless, they get fresh food when they can, and usually have the reconstituted protein normally. But anytime they have an opportunity to eat fresh food, they will do that in a heartbeat. So.
And also, Finn, I'll have you know that gruel is a great source of protein and fibre.
Gruel. Hot sauce.
Oh
yeah, definitely.
Of course, there's hot sauce on the ship.
Of course they do. Dude,
that's usually Brogan and Ike's thing, hot sauce, whiskey, and who can make it to the bathroom first. And is it on the same level?
Make it to the bathroom, weaklings. Louisiana boys. We can eat tons of hot sauce and never have to worry about going to the bathroom.
Oh, tell you what, mate, the fact you guys put cayenne pepper in everything, and my constitution wasn't ready for that. Oh dear. Oh, mate, I was running up to the hotel room quite frequently that weekend.
I still love those British dudes that came to Louisiana, and they came down to Lake Charles too, they had this was a blast. But yeah, some of the food they ate, they were just eating, didn't realize how spicy some of it was.
You say that, Noel. At work today, I couldn't help it. I had to nuke the toilet whilst other workmates were there.
Thank you for sharing that, sir. Now everybody on the internet knows your bathroom habits.
What? That I had to nuke the toilet. Oh.
And everybody's gonna.
The thing is, yeah, but Brandon, it's one of those tiny little bathrooms. It might as well be a cubicle.
Yeah, well, that's how some of the toilet stalls are in the States. Let me see. Speaking of lakes, Lake America. If you're hearing like jet engines from over here.
Oh, we've heard it the whole stream.
Sorry, apologize for that. They've got an air show going on. My house is actually right near a place called Chanel.
I just figured it was Trump deploying, the Air Force for his next war. But by all means,
no. There's
fuel prices are dropping. Start another one.
Let me explain. There's an air park right near where I live, and they're doing an air show today, and that's the Blue Angels flying really low right when I'm doing the show.
I was going to say, did Donald realise that Terry can afford a tank of fuel again, and then he's like, "Oh bugger, I need to start another war, so he can't afford to fill his car again."
Nah, it's just the Blue Angels. They're performative F-14s, and so yeah.
They fly F-18s.
Blue Angels, okay, F-18s.
Yeah.
Then. Okay.
Yeah.
So
How do I know that and you don't? Come on, Brandon.
Because I don't pay much
You're
attention
American.
to Blue Angels. Okay, air shows aren't my thing. Let me see. Speaking of lakes, Lake America, I have no idea what that's all about. And personally, I stopped. I kind of blurred my eyes every time I listen to what the president tries to rename this, that, or the other. It starts annoying me. Okay, guys, look. Unfortunately, we're gonna go ahead and have to call it
the Red Angels is a reference to Angron from 40K.
Because today is my work day, and so we're gonna hit our hour mark. So I'm gonna have to bow out because I got places to go, things to do. And
so yes, but I still have to plug all my crap before you go. So I'm going to take that opportunity, Brandon. You're going to have to live with it for a few moments.
Hey, you had out.
No, I didn't. You've been talking. I let you talk. I'm very kind like
that. Go ahead.
Give you the cigar look again. Right. Anyway, no. As you guys know, I finally started picking up ne'er-do-wells and wanderers. They'd not got a lot of attention this time, so if you can spread the word and give it a bit of love, I'd really appreciate it. Because these ones, these are new ones I worked on especially. I didn't already have everything down for these ones, and the reason the sky's burned over Tantagel is my thing is because the next one is actually called A World at War, and it's all about the Imperium siege of Tantagel.
So yeah, especially
so hopefully you'll look forward to that. In fact, this background song is one of them from the new World at War stuff. So you won't hear this one for over a week. Yeah. It's a nice little preview. This one.
Yeah. So go ahead and check out his stuff. You can check it. You can of course check it out on our channel. Links down in the doobly-doo. Well, actually, you're on our channel if you're watching our stuff, but links down to all our other stuff as well. We got our links to our books. We got links to our social medias. We have a what's called a channel X on Facebook, and even on Instagram, where Terry shows a lot of previews of our music and other things that we use AI to generate, because we know that not everybody particularly likes AI, but we still have some really cool stuff we just kind of whipped up for fun. And so Terry likes to share that with us, and I really love that.
As I always say with that, it's literally just as a little bit of extra immersion in the world. I'm never going to claim anything is mine other than the concept.
And even on X, I'll share this. I share it too, especially with the animations that we've done. And like I said, I'm going to be working on a new animation very, very soon that's going to be presenting our books, especially like one at a time. I want to have like various types of little scenes from it with cool music. I'm going to put all that together. I'll be putting up some updates on that before long, and of course updates to everything that we're working on, from our artwork to our comics and all that good stuff. So follow us on the social medias, check us out.
Oh my God, Brandon, I thought you had to go to work.
Check out our books, and and please comment, rate, subscribe for our books. If you get it, all we ask is that you leave a review, even if you don't like it. So guys, thanks for checking us out, and hope that you'll all stay lucky and stay blessed. And this is Terry, and this is Brandon Hill and Terrence Pegasus, hoping that you'll join us again next time on the Northwest Passage. Take care.
See you later, guys. Thank you.